Good morning, good afternoon, Europe, Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Australia, New Zealand, Antarctica. I don't know. I hope I covered everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much if you're about to join. I can't wait to see many of you today that I already know or will get to know tonight on this chat. We will say hi to everybody. We will see your comments and read them. We will shout out your usernames. We will get to know you. We will chit chat and hang out for a bit. I have some kitty cats with me. Let's see, where is Baji, Fuji, and Suji? They're around me. They're a little bit mad at me because I got back from the gym late because I had to call my mom on the way. Well, I can't drive and talk, but so I had to talk and then drive. All that stuff. And then here I am. Here I am. There is quite a bit going on in my sort of family situation and things like that. Some things developed and whatnot. So anyways, here I am waiting for people to join. Here's my earrings that I forgot to put on. Here they are. One second. Okay, so, and also I want to get the sponsor for this live out of the way. I have here with me, drum roll, a package from this company called Carefor, Carefor, right here. See, this is Carefor Grapefruit Mint Fresh Breath mouthwash. Now, I don't know what Carefor is implying, whether I need some mouthwash or what, but here they are. They are sponsoring this live, and I'm gonna clip this and make some videos out of this and send it to them for their so that they can use this for advertising. So that's the advertisement of the day today. And here we go. Actually, let me share the live as well before I forget. And then we will continue with the cosmology of today and also some chit chats and whatnot. Thank you so much for joining. If you're joining, if it's too late and you cannot join, well, miss you. And hopefully you see this tomorrow during the day and leave your comments. And thank you in advance for all your comments. Really appreciate all of the chat messages and comments that I see later on each of these live streams, as well as videos, or if you see this as a video upload later on under the live tab. Thank you in advance, and please do leave your comments there. Thank you. Welcome to the live. Welcome. How are you? How are you tonight? Welcome. Thank you. Welcome. Oh gosh, that's my voice. How are you doing? Hello. Welcome. How are you? Hello. Google Rewrites History says, where are your people at? Hello, Google. Random says, hi, how are you? I'm good. How are you, Random? How are you, Google Rewrites? Where are my people at? I don't know. Hopefully they'll join soon. Can you please double tap and hi. Hello, Clay. Can you please double tap and give me some likes? Can we get 10 likes, please? Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, there's hearts, there's likes. Thank you so much. Can we get 10 likes? Sin Miedo Al Excito says hello. Hi, Excito. Hello, all the kiss emojis. Hello, Adventures of Austin says hello. Hi, Austin. Hi, Clay. Sin Miedo says, where are you from? Good, thank you for asking. Of course, Random. Jason Hernandez says hi. Hello, Jason. Adventures says, can you shout me out? Yes, Adventures of Austin. Here's your shout out. Thank you so much for being here. Can you please like the live? Can we get 10 likes? I like to subscribe. Thank you so much. Excito, thank you. Sin miedo al excito. Nice pronunciation. Oh, good. Karen B says hi. Steve says, remember me. Of course, Steve. Karen B says, Michigan. Hello, Michigan. Hello, welcome to Michigan and all of the Midwest. Sin Miedo says, what languages do you speak? I speak English, Hindi, Bengali, Urdu, understand a little bit of Spanish. Google says, nah, I don't do that recognition. It's superficial and egotistical. Recognition. Oh, okay. Austin says, I subscribe. Thank you. Warrior says, just came all over grandma's. Okay. Well, hello, the warrior. Karen B says, thank you. Hello, Karen. Somebody asked a question. Can you shout me out? Adventures of Austin. There you go. And Sinmiedo says, where are you from? I'm in North America. I'm in Boston. That's where I am from. Let's just say that. But originally, I'm from India. Thank you for liking. Thank you so much. Can we get 10 likes? I'm gonna share the live too on my channel so that people know that we have gone live. East Coast. Yes. Yes, indeed. East Coast. That's right. It's a little late, but here we are. And we're going to talk about cosmology. So hang tight. As I tell the channel, we are live. We are live. How is everybody doing today? And any more comments that people would like for me to read out? Have you traveled to India? I am from India, so I lived there 18 years of my life after being born. So yes, indeed I have been to India. And have I traveled to India lately? No. The last time I traveled to India was in 2023 of January. So there's my India story for at least right now. Clay says, USA and a bouquet of flowers. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Now that I have the live shared, I will say again who the sponsor of today's live is. This will be quick, but this is Care4. Thank you so much, Care4, who has sent me grapefruit mint fresh breath mouthwash. Thank you so much, Care4. I will have discount codes and things like that too in the description below once I post this video and it's uploaded as a video later on. So thank you so much. Let me actually open the package and see what the deal is with this. Do a little box opening for you as part of this live, and then we'll keep going to the content part of the live, which will be our cosmology topic. This is a very nice green packaging. There is a plastic. Here's some plastic package opening ASMR for you guys. Hi 4FFE. Only part of Boston that I liked was the diner by the bus terminal. Oh my gosh, when did you come to Boston? It's been a few years. I counted the other day. It's been a number of years actually. I came, it's been almost, well, it's been over 3 years, I think. 5 minus 2 is 3. Yeah, yes. 2025 minus 2022. 22 is when I came. So it's been over 3 years, which is pretty remarkable. Google Rewrite says, only part of Boston I liked was the diner by the bus terminal. You have to tell me which diner by which bus terminal. Do you remember which part of Boston it was? Because there is a lot of diners and a lot of bus terminals. 4FFE, hello! Hello, everybody, once again. Google Rewrites and Miedo, Clay, everybody, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you. And thank you. Okay, so this is Care4 Grapefruit Mint Fresh Breath Mouthwash. It prevents cavities. I'm just reading out from the package. Prevents cavities, stronger gums, alcohol-free, rebuilds the enamel, however you say that, freshens the breath, and there are 20 travel packets. Oh my gosh, well, Care4, thank you so much for implying that I will be traveling soon. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness gracious. I do hope that this is manifested and I have enough money to travel very soon here. And I'm extremely happy to see this green packaging right here, which says that I will be traveling because there are 20 travel packets in here, which means that I must be traveling soon. This says 12 milliliter per 0.406 fluid ounces times 20. So each of these packets, yeah, so you're saying, Sinmedu is saying your English is good for being here for a short time. Well, I have been here for a long time. I've only been in Boston for 3 years or 3+ years. Before that I was in Ohio, before that I was in North Carolina. So indeed I've been in the US almost half my life now. So not quite, but close to half my life I've been in the US. This is not my first rodeo. I think there's a phrase like that. I'm still learning the phrases. There are plenty of phrases that I don't fully get or understand or know yet very well, and maybe misuse them because I don't know the meaning exactly. But ooh, it's 12:12. Goodness, what a nice time. But I've been in the US for a while. That's the phrase, yes. Oh, thank you, Google Rewrites History. Goodness, Google Rewrites History is quite a username. I love it. And thank you so much for being here. Welcome, welcome. We will be talking about the universe really soon. Steven says, hey, friends. Hello, Steven. Sinmeado says, is Hindi difficult to learn? Well, Hindi is not my mother tongue. My mother tongue is Bengali. Hindi is sort of one of the official languages in India that I know about, that I did learn, and that I, in theory, I know Hindi, especially because of the movies. There are a lot of movies in Hindi, right? But it's not my mother native tongue. My mother tongue is Bengali, and if you go to Kolkata and if you live in Kolkata, you will learn it very naturally because we refuse to speak Hindi or other things there. We always, our go-to language in Kolkata, indeed in Bengal, is Bengali. And many non-Bengalis, other parts of India, people from other parts of India, or even foreigners or anybody who comes to Kolkata will learn Bengali pretty easily because we speak Bengali almost ruthlessly, and we expect that people will pick it up. Or we just refuse to be accommodating with other languages. So you speak English better than I do. Well, I speak Bengali very well as well. My Bengali is top class, just top, just very top. Let's see, sneaks around room handing astronomy books. Yes, this is an astronomy live. Stephen knows. Stephen is here. Hey friends, I like the native accent overtone in your English. Sneaks around room handing astronomy. I like the native accent overtone in your English. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I can't really control it, and my accent at this point is very mixed. It's somewhere between India, US, UK, whatever. So, even I don't know my accent very well anymore, and it changes. It's a code switched accent. When I worked in corporate jobs a lot, it became more American because that's what people in America mostly understand. It's a more Americanized accent. When I go and meet my Indian friends, it's more of an Indian accent, so it gets thicker in the Indian accent. So you never know what you will get. Even I don't know what I will get. And then of course I do some funny dramatized types of accents as well. So you just really don't know. I met a guy in school years ago who was Russian but did not have an accent. His English was fluent. Well, your English could be fluent, but you still could have an accent. So, I think my English is very fluent because it is one of the languages that I grew up with. I went to school and we learned 3 languages, English, Bengali, and Hindi. But, and also English is probably the easiest one that I learned. So, there's that. But you could be fluent in English and still not know certain cultural things. I still don't know certain culturally appropriate phrases. Not all the time anyways. I know some, but not always. And let's see. Same thing with Bengali. There's a lot of sayings that people say that other people might not know. It's kind of hard to catch that. But in general, if you didn't grow up with the Indian languages and if you're an adult, then it can be a little difficult to pick them up. They kind of work differently than English, of course. It's a different alphabet, different everything. Derived from Sanskrit, is the mother language. But Sanskrit is an Indo-European language, as far as I know. So it's not so different either. There are certain things that are sort of the same in Latin versus Sanskrit. So for example, mother is English, or I think it comes from Latin, but the similar in Sanskrit is mata. So mata versus mother, very similar. So there are similarities between Sanskrit and Latin, I believe, and we are more similar than you might think, and we're also a little different than you might think. I met a guy in school years ago. Oh yeah. Thank you for being a very kind YouTuber and being compassionate about others and what they say. Aw, of course. Adventures of Austin, thank you so much. And thank you so much for the emoji. And thank you so much for your comments. Please do keep coming back to these lives. We generally talk about a lot of different topics, but usually physics, astronomy, astrophysics, cosmology, and cats. So I think we're pretty entertaining. So please do keep coming back and we will always give you a shout out. Cup of Coffee says Google rewrites. People say English here in the US is the hardest to learn due to the different dialects spoken here. Like in Boston, you have the New England accent, one of the hardest accents to understand. You'll be surprised, actually. So it depends, I think, where Google rewrites history says I'm sold. I don't know what that means, but okay. So you'd be surprised. Like when I first came to the US, I started in the South, right? I was in North Carolina. And physics and cats, you got me. Yes, that's this channel. Pretty much it's physics and cats, man. It's physics and cats. I don't think you can go wrong with that. So we're going to talk about the universe, the beginning of the universe, the origin, the fate of the universe, arrow of time, Stephen Hawking, brief history of time, Brian Greene, all of that, plus all of this. So I don't know if you can beat that. Plus there's this mouth freshening thing that I'm supposed to talk about as well because the sponsor wants me to. It was the cats that hooked me on this. Aww. But Stephen, you know you like all the chit-chatting and you know you like your physics friends and astronomy friends as well. So Stephen is a regular. Make friends with Stephen. So by the way, people who come to my lives, like I go live almost every day, every night pretty much. You know, sometimes it's in the afternoon, rarely, but usually at night. But basically, people will like make friends with each other and whatnot. So, you know, it's a whole thing. Some of these people, it was the cats that hooked me. Yes, I do. Some of these people that come to my lives regularly make friends with each other through these usernames, and they, say things in the chat as I'm doing my reading or chatting about something else, and they become friends with each other, and they keep coming back as regulars. Sin Miedo says, around what time do you go live? So my plan is to go live in the evenings. It's definitely Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. It's kind of late. This is sort of a later live. So around now or hopefully a little earlier is when I plan to go live. And then Sunday, I want to do it a bit earlier. And then Friday, I want to do it a bit earlier if I do one on Friday. Saturday, I might not. I might take the day off. And then Wednesday, I'm going to either... Actually, what day is today? Thursday. So I took the day off yesterday. Wednesday, if I do it, I'll try to do it earlier. But pretty much in the evenings. And even if you miss the live, some people miss it because they go to bed or the timings didn't match up. You can always see the... live replay, the live video upload later on under the live tab on my channel. So be sure to subscribe and keep coming back and just check out every live episode and leave your comments. Do you think humans will ever be on another planet and live almost just like we on Earth live now? And I so love hearing about the universe too. Oh, thank you. So the Earth is quite special, at least to me. So I don't know if we can really simulate the exact type of living on Earth in on a different planet. So I mean, there's already efforts to go to Mars, and we actually talked about Mars quite a bit on this channel. So if you're interested, we can talk about Mars again and point out that Mars has a number of benefits. Kind of cooler though. Mars will have much cooler summers. So if you are gonna go to Mars, bring a jacket. But otherwise, it has some redeeming qualities. For example, the surface is kind of similar to ours and things like that. So as far as the sort of the benefit of other planets, they're not going to be as nice as Earth. We've covered all of the planets in our solar system at depth, actually, and the more you learn about them, the more you understand that the Earth is very special. The Earth is where liquid water, and lots of it exists, and that really helped us get here where we are. And liquid water not being there on Venus is really what screwed Venus over. Venus's poisonous atmosphere was a lot like our atmosphere, actually, but because we exist at a distance from the sun where liquid water can exist, we are able to clean up that atmosphere, and now here we are. We have plants, we have animals, we have us. So whereas Mars, I was going to say ours, I don't know what that means, Mars. Whereas Mars has some traces of liquid water erosion, which maybe indicates that there might have been water on Mars in the past, which is a good sign, and there might be, there might have been life on Mars at a different time, because just because, finding life on other planets, by the way, is another whole topic that we can talk about. But that life doesn't have to be contemporary with us. It's not like Mars has to have life right now for it to be interesting. It could have had life in the past, or maybe we find a planet and there will be life on it later, or we might just not overlap in time with other planets, and at what point they become habitable, things like that, right? So even if you find a planet and you find some trace of life from the past, it's still very interesting. It means that life is not just on Earth. It's not just an Earth thing, but it could be on other in other worlds, right? And Mars is one. So I keep mentioning Mars because Mars is the current sort of candidate. I wish it could be Venus, but Venus has the poisonous atmosphere, which is really hard, and it's too close to the sun. But as far as the planets go, Venus is actually the one that's most similar to us in size, and the fact that it has an atmosphere, and what else? Size, mass. It's closer to us. Oh, the other thing is Venus is closer to us. So it would take shorter time. If Venus was habitable, it would take shorter time to go to Venus than it would to Mars. So things like that. I think so. We're at like 1 astronomical units from the sun so if you put the distance between the sun and the Earth as 1 astronomical units, we're at 1 astronomical units. Venus is at like 0.7, and Mars is at like 1.52. So Mars is farther out. So, as far as the distance, the size, those types of things, I'm missing something else. There might be something else. The fact that Venus has an atmosphere, and so the gravitation on Venus is similar to Earth, right? So wouldn't it be nice if we could go and live on Venus, because then it would feel a lot like Earth? But the only problem is its poisonous atmosphere, because it does not have liquid water to absorb some of that carbon dioxide and whatnot from Venus's atmosphere and convert it to rocks like we have here on Earth by converting carbon dioxide to limestone. So the fact that Earth's atmosphere got cleaned up enough to then make plants, and then plants also produce oxygen and absorb carbon dioxide, those types of things happening on Earth makes us very lucky. And our distance from the sun is very lucky as well. So those types of things, like, I don't know. Given all of this, I'm not like aching to go to Mars, for example, right? Because Mars is kind of far, and it's much smaller than Earth. Its surface is okay. It's good. It looks kind of like Earth. It looks sort of like a like sandy type of surface on Mars. So in that sense, pretty good. And the fact it's colder, maybe we can, make us warmer there because of technology. But you would require quite a bit of technology to be able to start to live there. I think we'll land on Mars in the next 10 years. Oh, yeah. We've already made a lot of headway. So why I also mentioned Mars is because Mars, there's already a rover there. There's a lot of research going on already with Mars. So because we've already started to explore it extensively, there's no reason why, we wouldn't keep on exploring it, and we will end up there. And it's sort of like a funding thing, and and if it's private, then absolutely. 3 body problem was a warning lull. Do you think humans will ever be in another universe in the future? I see. Okay, that's the next question. Do you think humans will be on the planet? I answered that. Okay. Do you think humans will ever be in another universe? 3 body problem. Hello, I was just speaking on. I was like, I wonder if you were live. On Mars, you may want a shovel and bucket and a beach towel, but there's no water on the surface. Yeah, so that's the thing. I have to blow my nose. That's the thing. Like, the sandy surface is nice. It's like a beach, right? But there's no oceans, and it's cold because it's farther away from the sun. So it's like, I guess cold is better than too hot, because you can do something against the cold. If you're too close to the sun, like Venus or Mercury, you can't do anything about that. But I guess you can do something about being cold. But yeah, but the gravitation will be less than on Earth. You'll weigh less. I'm not like I said, I'm not super looking forward like, I'm not trying to go to Mars. I think Earth is great and I'm happy here. But if people want to go to Mars, there's definitely merit to the planet. In fact, we can read a little bit about Mars. We should take a little Mars break and read a bit more about Mars directly from the book that we've been using on planets and things like that. Because, I mean, it is a big interest. People are already exploring it. It's a big interest and there is a lot of merit. So that's not without reason, right? But, you know, prepare for the cooler summers. Okay, so the sponsor, again, sent me this thing. Oh my gosh, look at this. Oh my God, wow. There's so many. There's like 20 of these mouthwash things. Travel packs. Wow. Hi Gladys. Hi Steven. Hi the Bears. Hello Google Rewrites. Hello everybody. Gladys says, do I remember me? Do I remember you? Yes, of course I do. Gladys, how are you? So look at this nice packaged mouthwash, which is the sponsor of this live. They sent me this mouthwash so I can share with you about the great mouthwash of this. And then look at how they've packaged it. There's like tape on it. And each of these are a little travel pack of mouthwash. Goodness. Here we go. Give me just a second while I talk about this. There are 12 milliliter in each of these packets, and there's 20 of them. So thank you so much once again. Carrefour grapefruit, if I can say that word. Mint Fresh Breath mouthwash. Thank you so much. The mouthwash is paying the bills, guys. So just kidding, they're not, but you know, gotta start somewhere. Sorry, I meant to put, do you remember it? Do you remember it? I do remember you, Gladys. Thank you so much for being here. All right, so we're going to put the mouthwash away, and we're going to talk about Mars because you asked. I was going to talk about the universe more, but since you're interested in Mars, let me talk a little bit more about Mars. And somebody also asked, I think it was the same person, let me see, I think it was Adventures of Austin, asked about whether we can live in a different universe. So whether we have multiverses, whether we have different types of universes is a question that I don't know the answer to. So I don't know. I mean, I think what you're asking, a different way to frame it would be the wormhole travel. Can we travel to a different universe utilizing a wormhole or something? And that is something that you should stay tuned for. We will cover the topic of wormholes pretty soon here, maybe in a couple of lives, from the book Brief History of Time by Stephen Hawking. Another person who has written about wormholes is Kip Thorne, so we will actually try to get his book as well. But wormholes is the type of thing that I think you're kind of asking about in terms of going to another universe. It's really the closest, like, because we don't know about the existence of other universes and we don't know how to really, you know, the question is a question, like, can that even be a question? I would say the closest I can get to giving an answer on the topic would be to talk about the wormholes. And those are upcoming. So in a couple of chapters, actually, we will talk about wormholes. So stay tuned. Definitely subscribe and keep coming back to the lives every night because we will talk about wormholes very soon, okay? In a couple days. Oh my God. I'm so sniffly. I'm getting the sniffles because I actually went swimming. That's the other thing. I'm late because I swam for a very, very long time. Then I had calls with my family. So I've been running a little late this week. I'm not sick. I hope I'm not sick. I've been running a little late this week. I've just been kind of out of whack a little bit. And what do you call? I did the gym and I swam for a long time, and then I had family phone calls, and so that's why I'm running a little late. I want to start these lives like earlier, like 10:30, and be kind of like close to being done by now, like 12:31. So I think like tonight we'll go to like 1 in the morning Eastern Standard Time is sort of the timeline for this. Okay. But yeah, since somebody asked about the times, that's sort of the plan, is like around 10, I want to start my live, especially on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday as well. I will do my lives somewhere between 9 p.m. I'll get, it might not be 9 p.m. on the weekdays because we'll see. But I want to get started and then end by like 12:31 and then do it again. And then Wednesday, I might take it off sometimes, but other days I might still do the live. So pretty much most days I'm live, like in the evenings. So just hopefully I see many of you soon on all the lives. And yeah. Are you sick? I hope not. I think I just have the sniffles because because of like swimming for a while. So you're athletic. Maybe, I don't know. Am I athletic? I don't know. I don't know these things, you know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm athletic. I swim, I don't know. Sorry I ask so many questions, but is there a way humans could turn Mars into an Earth-like planet by adding water or other Earth-like stuff? So Mars is much, much smaller than the Earth. I doubt that that could be something that we can change very easily. Mars is the size it is. You know what I mean? At least for now. At least for now. The other thing about adding water, I would say the answer is no, because we would have to ship it. We would basically, you know what? I'm going to pause and think about this. I would imagine that we would ship it quite literally from Earth. I doubt. Maybe there is a way to actually, like I was thinking, like water is not like an organism that you can just grow, right? Like you can say, like that movie where they showed that he was growing plants on Mars. Like he was, what was it? He was growing potatoes or something on Mars. Like, but he still had to make sort of a greenhouse covering type thing. And then he made, because Mars does get sunlight. So if you bring your own water, like BYOD. So yeah, to Mars, bring a drink. BYOD. Mars is very BYOD and BYOC, I guess, as in bring your own coat and bring a jacket and bring your own water. So yeah, Martian with Matt Damon. He was basically utilizing the sun and doing the potato plants and using whatever water I guess he had to grow the plants and eat the potatoes to stay alive, right? So water is not like some kind of plant that you just plant and then you grow more of. But